Hey guys, it's Drea. Today I have a get ready with me. I want to be filming a few videos today. I'm about to film my first Sephora orders video, and I thought while I'm putting on my makeup, why don't I just film it and talk to you guys. I actually had this little notebook downstairs with me for a couple days. I just grabbed it off my bookshelf to write something in, and I was perusing through it, and I realized all of this is like ideas from last year. Like, I used to write all my ideas in a notebook, and now I just write them on my phone, so I never forget about them. But I had this notebook sitting here with all these ideas, and one of them in here was 10 things about me that you don't know. And I was like, oh, that's a great idea. I feel like there's a lot of new subscribers here. Maybe you don't know me, or those of you that have been with me for a long time. These are things that you probably don't know about me. So listen, this is a bit self-indulgent, but we'll be doing our makeup together, hopefully. Hopefully this will just help you pass the time a little bit. I don't have 10 things though. I literally couldn't think of 10 things today that you probably don't know. And so I have 8 things. So this is 8 things that you don't know about me. I'm gonna be putting on my makeup like I said. I might talk about it, I might not. Whoa, that primer just went flying everywhere. But everything will be listed in my description box, as it always is. If you're ever wondering what's on my face, go check my description box. 99 times out of 100, it'll be down there. Alright, so let's start with something very, very tame. I really love sea turtles. I think I mentioned this in my room tour, which, by the way, I kind of want to do a new room tour because the one from last year is kind of outdated. And I figure maybe some other people that, like, especially if you do YouTube or you are, I don't know, you want to do something in regards to social media and makeup, you might like a room tour. So let me know if you do want that. But basically the reason I'm saying this is because in that video you see a bunch of sea turtles all around my room. I don't even know why I started liking sea turtles, and just turtles in general, but mainly sea turtles. Just a few years ago, I just felt very drawn to them, and now I love everything about sea turtles. Yeah, what else more is there to say about that? You remember that meme where that kid goes, "I love turtles," and it like became this huge meme? Well, I always feel stupid saying I love turtles now because of that. Like, I feel like people just think of the meme. Anyways. By the way, we went to karaoke last night. Oh, you know what? This leads into one of them. We went to karaoke last night, and I tried singing a new song that I hadn't ever sung before. I don't know if you watched my last Get Ready With Me, but I really talked about karaoke a lot and how I want to start singing more stuff. And so yesterday I was like just listening to Miranda Lambert, like literally for hours. And I came across that song More Like Her. And so I tried learning it all in one day. Like, that's not always the best idea. But anyways, I tried learning it all in one day, and I did sing it last night, and I really liked it. It sounded pretty good, except the chorus. Like, for some reason I couldn't get the timing on the chorus right, and I was like screwing it up a little bit. But anyway, it was my first try. But that actually goes into another thing. So you guys know I talk about karaoke a lot. It's like one of my favorite things to do, besides, you know, it's just like one of my hobbies, and a way that me and my husband really spend a lot of time together. It's like our date night every week. Anyway, so I just decided last night, I'm like, I want to start a karaoke business. And I really think I should. Now I know a lot of you know, is a musician. And so he has a lot of equipment. He's got speakers, he's got mics, he's got a PA system. Like, he's got almost everything you need to do anything related to like a music show, at least in a venue like a bar or something like that, where this would be. And I was just thinking, like, I've always told him, you should run a karaoke. Why don't you run a karaoke? You have all the stuff for it. Like, why not do it? And he's a great singer. And recently I just decided, well, if he's not gonna do it, why don't I do it? Like, I'm not a great singer, but I'm a good enough singer where I would be able to do that. Like, to run a karaoke, the host usually does sing a few times in the night. So you should be a singer if you're gonna run a karaoke. And you also kind of have to be like organized. And I definitely am. Like, you have to keep people like on track. You have to have your system all organized of who's singing next and who's coming up. Yeah, and you have to be able to host stuff, right? And I feel like I could definitely do that. Like, it's something that the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yeah, why shouldn't I do that? And the bonus thing is, like, he could definitely do it with me. We could do it together. So he could, you know, run the systems. He could teach me, obviously, how to run all that stuff. And then also he could, you know, if one of us got sick, like, he could take over, or I could take over, whatever, right? Or we could just do it together and still be spending time together and stuff. I just think it would be a really great side business type thing. You get paid for doing it. Why not, right? Like, I think the only thing that we would really need to invest into it is getting the actual, like, mixer system. And then also, I think you have to, like, buy the songs. Like, you have to buy the karaoke system. So you need the songs, you need, like, the monitors that show the words. You need that stuff. But other than that, like, we have everything else already. So yeah, I don't know, like, if this is just a silly pipe dream, but I think it's a good thing. I think, like, I could do it. All right, next thing is, I am deathly afraid of heights. Like, people say they're afraid of heights. My whole body shuts down at a certain point. So I will not go up more than a couple flights of stairs. Like, if I can see below, for example, if you're like at a water park and you know how they have those graded stairs to get up to the water slides, no way. My body physically, like, will not let me go. My legs get heavy, my vision gets blurry, and I'm just like, no, I cannot go past a certain point. Or like up a ladder. Like, I can go about halfway up a regular size ladder and that's it. So I always get myself in these situations too, where it's like, well, why are you in this situation if you're afraid of heights? So I remember one of our first dates, we went to the CNE, which is the Canadian National Exhibition. It's this huge fair in Toronto, and they have this ginormous Ferris wheel, like the kind where it's an open kind of circle and there's a pole coming down the middle, and you could fit like 4 or 5 people in each of these. I don't even know what I guess it's called, like a gondola maybe. You could fit 4 or 5 people in there. And I don't know how high it is off the ground. I want to say it's probably 100 feet, because at the time, at least, and this was 17 years ago now, but at the time I remember hearing like it was the highest Ferris wheel in North America. So that's pretty damn high. But anyways, so we were on that. Like, how do I get myself in these situations with heights when I'm so afraid of heights? So it's because I wanted to impress my new boyfriend, basically. Like, that's what it was. And so he wanted to go on it, so I'm like, okay, fine. So we go on it, and literally the entire time I was sitting with my eyes closed, holding onto that pole, just looking down, just like shaking, holding on. And like, he's like, what is wrong with you? Like, what? Look, like, open your eyes. And we're at the top. You know how it stops sometimes? We're at the top of the Ferris wheel, and you're not even buckled in. Like, there's nothing to secure you in there. And there were like strangers on it with us, and they were being all nice and everything. They're like, oh, she's scared, like, oh. But really, as an adult, should you really be scared like that? But here's a really, really tame one while I do my eyebrows. I eat chocolate bars really strangely. Now, not all of them. Like, I'll eat a Snickers like a normal person. But for example, Kit Kat. I'll take the one Kit Kat and I will literally like bite the chocolate off around the entire wafer until there's no chocolate on the wafer, and then I'll eat the wafer. Does anybody else do this? Is anybody else a weirdo like me and does weird things with their chocolate? With Reese's peanut butter cups, I actually will bite the chocolate off, and I only bite it off because it's kind of easier than getting your fingers all messy. But I won't actually eat it. Like, I'll bite it off and then I'll put it to the side in the little paper cup wrapper. And then I will literally only eat the peanut butter stuff in the middle. Like, I won't eat any of the chocolate on a Reese's peanut butter cup. Okay, the next two, again, really tame. Just little silly quirks of mine. Number one is that I take extra ice in all of my pop or soda, if you're American or Western Canadian. Who says soda in Canada? Anybody? I've always said pop. Anyway, so I take extra ice, my favorite thing. And I was like, we so bonded over this, me and Kristen Game, when she was here. I was like, Diet Coke with extra ice. Yes, yes, please. There's nothing better than like a McDonald's like fountain pop. Fountain pop is the best. And you have to have the extra ice in it because you have to keep it cold longer. And literally, this just happened. Like I wrote this down before this just happened, but my son just went and got me Diet Coke with extra ice because that's my thing. And my husband always gets mad because he's like, you can't drink that, like you have to get off of it. The aspartame in it is gonna destroy you. And I'm like, I know all this. You're not wrong. I understand, I agree, but I can't. I'm addicted. And the extra ice just makes it all that much better. And the next kind of, I don't want to say silly, but just like kind of more tame thing is I cannot touch cotton. Like straight up cotton swabs, ugh, it makes my skin crawl. Like it's only since having a channel that I've even really used cotton rounds, and even that I had to kind of get used to it. Like because it's not as bad. I think it's because it's in, like it's already kind of woven in a way. But you know, like those like at a doctor's office, the actual cotton rounds, or the worst, ugh, the absolute worst is when you open a bottle of pills or vitamins or something like that, and you have to take out that like cotton swabby thing that's in it. Oh, that stuff is horrible. That's like my nails on a chalkboard. That's like, I had a friend who couldn't, like she hated the sound of crunching snow under her feet. That's like mine. That's my version of nails on a chalkboard, is touching cotton. Like I cannot. All right, I know I kind of motored through the eyeshadow there, but I did use the Nars Wanted palette with this shade all through my crease, and then this one just to deepen it up a little bit slightly more. And then I used the Mischief Minx palette from MAC, and I put this shade in the outer V, this shade on the inner kind of third, and then this one kind of just in the middle to blend them together. So I just wanted like a really simple but glowy summer look today. All right, let's talk tattoos. I have 2 tattoos, and I regret one of them, and I want another tattoo. So that means that I enjoy one of my tattoos, I hate one, and then I want another new one. So I have a stick and poke tattoo on my ankle, which my friend did when we were 15 years old in her basement. And she did it like, I don't even know how you do that. Like, I can't remember how she did it. It was like with a needle and like ink, some kind of ink pot. I don't know. It's still there. I'm not going to lift up my leg and show you guys, but it's still very like visible. It hasn't really faded or anything throughout the years. But yeah, that one I don't regret. It's a little tiny star. Actually, the reason I wanted it, I had seen it in a CK1 ad in a magazine, and it was on this girl's stomach, but I got it on my ankle, and it's just like a little open star with one little tiny dot in the middle. I wonder if I could find that CK1 ad again. That'd be cool if I could find that. And the one I regret is my tramp stamp, and I got that when I was 18, like literally. I turned 18 and I think it was maybe like in the spring. My birthday's in November, and I think it was in the spring that I got it, because I remember just wearing a light jacket that day. And I just got a tramp stamp. Like, it's literally a heart. It's a heart with like a little teardrop on the bottom, and like these like tribal things like coming out the sides. And yeah, it's cute, and it's on my lower back, and it's kind of like it was meant to be sexy, which is why you get a tramp stamp, because you want it to look sexy. But anyway, so I've had that for a long time, and I do regret getting that, because literally, I don't think anybody doesn't regret getting a tramp stamp. If you have a tramp stamp and you want to be honest with us and tell us like about it, I mean, listen, you don't have to reveal personal information in my comment section, but if you want to tell us about your tramp stamp that you don't regret, I would love to hear that story, because I think everybody regrets their tramp stamps. And by the way, I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. I love being trampy sometimes. Like, I think it's fun in the right context. And tramps are great. I think everybody should embrace tramps. And then the tattoo that I want, and my husband hates tattoos. He has none, and he doesn't like my tattoos. I mean, whatever. They were there before I met him, but it's fine. But I've always, like, anytime I've ever talked about wanting another tattoo, he's like, oh, don't get another tattoo. I hate tattoos, blah, blah, blah. But I want to get a tattoo of his initial on my ring finger. So I want to get, like, the letter of his name, which for privacy reasons I'm not gonna say, but I want to get the letter of his name there. I mean, I guess if I got it, you guys would see it. If that happens, that happens. But I want to get it here, and I want it to be in like cursive writing with a little like clover like attached to it. That's what I want. I've been talking about this now for like 2 years, and he doesn't want me to do it, but I might do it. I don't know. I'll say what I always say. If some people go, well, it's your body, do what you want, like you don't have to listen to him. I'm like, yeah, I know that. Thank you. I've been married for 14 years now. I understand how that works. But at the same time, it's like there's things that he might like on himself that I don't, and he goes along with it, right? So for example, I'm not the biggest fan of like facial hair. I really don't like it, and I would prefer that he never had facial hair, but sometimes he likes to have facial hair, right? And I'm not gonna, like, you know, he can decide what he wants, or he can go along with what I want, and it goes both ways. What do you guys think of this look where you do the wing liner, but then you don't bring it all the way down to the inner part of your eye? Like, I'm trying to kind of leave it here without bringing it down. I don't know. I don't like the way liner looks on the innermost part of my eye. I feel like it never looks sharp enough, or it's too thick. I don't know. There's just something about it that I don't love, but of course, you know me, like I love winged liner. So I'm just gonna experiment with this look today. We are on the last one, the last fact. And this one is actually hard for me to admit. Like, honestly, this is a hard one for me to admit. And I know, because the reason is I know so many of you are gonna think I'm weird and not believe that a grown adult woman, because I don't drive a car. Like, I don't drive a car, I don't have my driver's license, I am scared to drive, and I have a lot of anxiety about it. And hold on, I gotta put this eyelash on. Like, I have children. You would think that I would need to know how to drive, to get them around, to do errands, but I've just always lived my life in a way where I don't need to drive, and I've found ways to get around it. So now, I'm not saying it hasn't affected my family. Like, I do feel bad that I probably haven't involved my children in enough things, like enough clubs and stuff, because of that reason. So I do take responsibility for that, but I've just my whole life found ways not to do it. That being said, part of the reason I'm telling you this is because I really do want to learn how to drive this year, and I'm very anxious about it. I've actually had my learners twice in my life. So in Ontario, there's something called a G system, which the G1 is your learner's permit, and within 5 years you should go from your G1 to your full G, and in between is a G2. G2 is a full license with conditions. A G lets go of all those conditions, and it's basically like a full license. But a G2, you can drive without someone else in the car. A G1 is a learner's permit, so you need to have like an experienced driver with you. I've had my G1 twice, and I've always let it go the full 5 years and let it expire before doing anything about it. Now, in my marriage, we just found ways that things work. You know, like, I do all the laundry, I do all the cooking, he drives everywhere, you know, and we're both fine with this arrangement. I think it probably annoys him sometimes that I don't drive at all. Like, you know, like, it's definitely inconvenienced the family a few times. But yeah, this is the year that I want to do it. I want to get over my anxiety, and I want to drive, just to have that freedom. And I feel like I've inhibited myself in terms of my life, my career path. I probably could have had a way better job if I had like better transportation. So there is a lot of ways that it's affected me badly. For a long time I was working from home, so I never needed to drive. Like I said, I can, oh, I forgot to put on mascara. I can, you know, we can go to the grocery store together. I can take taxis and buses places and Uber now, but like, I know it's inconvenienced us for a long time, and I need to get over it. I need to not have so many fears in my life, and just start living a little bit more. Yeah. All right, my friends, that is it for the Get Ready With Me today. I hope that you actually did get ready with me. If you did, let me know down below, because I always think that's fun. Okay, so that is it today. That is it today. That is it for today. I feel like I've been talking so much, and here I am about to film another talky type video. But I enjoyed it a lot. So I hope that you did too. Let me know if you have any questions about anything that I said. And that's it. So I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you're speaking kindly to yourself. Take care. Mwah.